So as everyone knows, OpenAI just released a new agent builder, and honestly, it's wild. It still has a couple issues, I must say, after a couple of days of testing, but it makes sense because it's so new. You know, I usually build on N8N, so this is a workflow I've built for a client, and this is one of 14, so it's got a lot of moving parts, and there's a lot of database integrations and multiple API calls within the workflow. So I do not think that the agent builder is at this level at all, but I think they built it for purpose of building simpler workflows. So we'll see how it stacks up against this over time. But here's what almost everyone is missing. The most important piece that actually makes this useful is knowing how to connect this to any app. So by the end of this video, you'll see exactly how I linked OpenAI's agent builder to over 500 different apps in just a few minutes. Additionally, I'll also show you some use cases that are actually going to blow your mind. So let's jump in. So I think by now everyone's familiar on how to get here, but if you don't, you go to platform.openai.com/agent builder. If you come here, you can just click on create and it'll start your workflow. But let me jump into my demo. So if you start off, you'll be presented with a start node and an agent node. Agent node, you can just set your instructions and you have all of these settings you can change. And if you head into the tools section and you click on MCP server, here's the thing that no one's really talking about. So out of the box, OpenAI's builder only comes with about 8 apps and then these third-party servers. So you'll see things like the Gmail, so all of Google services, Microsoft's, and here you also have Dropbox. So, I mean, it's great for the basics, but way too limited if you want to build something serious. And that's pretty much where Rube comes in. Rube is a model context protocol, so MCP server, that instantly gives you access to over 500 apps and 50,000 actions and things like Slack, Notion, Airtable, Stripe, you name it pretty much. And once you've connected it, it works across all of your agents, which is really cool. So let me show you how to set it up. So if you go to Rube, so it's rube.app, you come here, and if you go to the marketplace, let me just show you. I mean, look at this. You have all of these different apps that you can connect to. So if you go to just here, install Rube, and you go to auth headers, so N8N and more, you copy this, and I'll show you where to put this in a couple of seconds, and then you generate your token. Once you've generated your token, I'll also show you what to do with that. I'll just copy that in the meantime. So if we head back over here, we go to the agent, we go to tools, we do the MCP server, we add a server, so top right over here, add server, and then we put in that first URL, you can label it, so Rube, and then you change this authentication to custom headers, authorization, and then you put in your key. So remember to add this bearer with a space, and then paste your key. And then if I click on connect, it's going to establish the connection, and then over here, what I also like doing is setting this to never require approval for any tool calls. And I've noticed there's some issues with the headers. So I've found if you put these quotation marks and then you press add and then it works. I've had it where it works without the quotes and then sometimes I have to put it in. So just see what works for you. Okay, let's build something real. So for example, a content strategy system powered by multiple agents working together. So we'll create one agent for research, one for audience insight, and one for the overall strategy. So let's delete this and just start from scratch again. So over here, let's connect it to Rube again. Add a server. Oops. Call this Rube. And then again, let's just add the quotes, because that's worked for me in the past. And change this to never, and then we can add it. All right. And now I've already created the prompt, so I'll just copy paste this. And I'll open it in full screen so everyone can see. So you are a research specialist. When asked for video ideas, you need to use transcripts file to identify the niche that I'm operating in. So yeah, I'll show you in a second. We'll add a vector store. Use web search and use Rube tool to scrape Reddit, and then Rube tool to pull data from YouTube analytics, and then structure your output. All right. Now let me just add my file search here. So I'll upload, I've already prepared the document, but here's my script. So this is basically a transcript of my previous YouTube video. So now it's going to read this and then see the niche that I'm actually in. And then let's just rename it, research agent, and then let's add another one. So this will be the insights agent. And again, let me just copy the prompt. So here's the prompt again. So access the user's YouTube comments, email list, and then look for common questions, problems, and research for specific content, and output a list of prioritized list of audience needs. Okay, now we need to connect it again. So for each agent you have to do it, which is a bit annoying, but anyways. Okay. And then change this to never. And then finally, let's add one more agent, which is the strategy agent. I'll copy this prompt again. So this one, we're going to receive data from the two previous agents, and we need to synthesize this information into two video concepts. So we need a compelling title, a hook for the first 10 seconds, why this will perform well based on the data, and expected audience and engagement potential. I think that's pretty cool. And this one, we're not going to connect the MCP server or anything. Basically how it will work is the message comes in, the agent will do some research, and then, what I also forgot, maybe here by tools we can also add the web search. I'll just add that, because I think we said, use web search. So we add the web search, and then the research will be passed onto the insights agent, and then the information from these two agents will be passed onto the strategy, and then we will get two video concepts. So if we want to add some safety measures, we can take this guardrail node and insert it somewhere within the workflow or afterwards. And we can add moderations, we can add jailbreaks, basically to check and stop users from tricking AI, and we can also add hallucination checks to verify responses against our vector store, for example. And if we just put one of these on, let's just do jailbreak. So if any one of these fail, then we can make it stop, or otherwise, if that passes, then we can take it to another agent. Additionally, we can, I think I have an example. Yeah, we can add conditional logic. So pretty much we take the research, and if the output of that research is beginner, so the content level is more prone towards beginner audience, then we can send it again to one agent, or if it's more advanced level, then we can send it to a different agent. But we will need to mess around a bit with the output in order to make this conditional logic work. So for this demo, let's just keep it simple. I'm going to delete these and show you how this works. And before I forget, I said here use the transcript file. So let's just rename this one transcripts. Now it's going to know which file to read. Okay. So let's go ahead and test it. Preview. What is a good video idea for me? Alright, I fast forwarded a little bit because sometimes it takes a while to think. So here we have the research. So it's niche identified, AI automation for builders, operators, and what's trending now. So it's AI launches the agent kit, community buzz, and here with all the sources. There's comparison videos, there's Google Gemini 2.5, and then we also have information from Reddit. So here's error when using OpenAI Agent Builder MCP connectors, and this is what I was telling you in the beginning, where you put the quotes around it, and then sometimes it works. It's a bit weird, but anyways. So yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of information here that you can read through on your own time. And then here we have the insights, so agent kit versus N8N, same workflow, real benchmarks. So here's a couple titles, a couple hooks. And then the strategies, 2 high confidence videos concepts tailored to AI automation. And then concept 1, I built the same AI agent in agent kit versus N8N. So yeah, I mean, obviously the more you play around with the prompt, the better your response will be and the better the concepts that it will give you. But as you can see, I mean, it's super helpful. It's gathering information from everywhere, pulling it together, and then seeing what's the most engaging video you can actually make. Now what's also pretty cool, so if you go over here, so once you've deployed it or published it, you go to evaluate and you see pretty much the entire workflow. And then on the right here, you can add some graders. So you can say, is the output professional, for example. You can add it, then you can run it and see what the score is on that. After it's been graded, you can see over here, here's the pass, and if it's fail, obviously it's going to say fail, and then it's going to give you a reason. So next, here's my challenge to you. So pick one thing you do manually every day, whether it's qualifying leads, onboarding clients, replying to tickets, or anything. Build an agent for it and use the agent builder and Rube and watch how much time you save on this. And once you see it working, you'll want to automate everything, and everything here is free to start, so just go experiment. And remember, Rube is the missing piece in this agent builder. And if you found this helpful, please drop a like and a comment and even a subscribe if you want to. That'll help me out tremendously, and I'm looking forward to creating more of these videos.